Welcome to another edition of Lakers Fast Break Spotlight on the Lakerholics weekend. That is always a mouthful to say. I'm always a little bit proud of myself when I say it without stumbling, especially because I got just a little bit of stuffy nose going on here. With me today is Gerald. Michael H. from Aloha, Hawaii is supposed to be stopping by at Laker Tom. Out. El Rob, out. It's just me holding down the fort. Me and Gerald. Old school style.
I'm an honorary Lakerholic.
You're a Lakerholic. You're a Lakerholic. You got your ears or whatever.
Well, whatever. Laker Tom kicked me off the site. So.
My lighting in here is really terrible. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can rectify.
Aloha, Michael.
Aloha. Morning, Michael. How you doing?
Good.
I was wearing my Koala Ranch shirt in honor of you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Yes. I appreciate that.
Beautiful, beautiful part of the world, Hawaii is.
Yeah, I got in the water early this morning, so it took me a while to get back.
Oh, yes. Just brag. My water is getting to probably a local hotel casino pool, but
yeah. No pool. You don't have a pool at your house, Gerald?
Had one before, but
yeah.
As of now, no. So again, in this city, if you know the right people, know the right connections, a pool is always at the ready. I'll just leave with that. But right now, it's too dang cold. It's windy. It's in the 40s. It's
cold here too.
Yeah, it ain't good. What's up, Craig? How you doing, my friend?
Craig,
it's cold here too right now. It's 73.
Yeah, you're so
harsh. But it's only 9, so it'll get to 80.
What's up, Apple? Great to have you here, Apple. Great to have everyone here. Go ahead.
Good morning, one and all. So, last night, clearly, what I want to get into today, we can dissect last night's game a little bit if we want to, but the pattern seems mostly the same. In this one, we had more field goal attempts. We beat them actually in most categories, except the free throw line for once, which led to, of course, Luka being all pissy at the end of the game. JJ Redick a little pissy lately on the free throw of the officiating. LeBron does his LeBron thing where he goes, well, I don't want to talk about it, but then I'm going to talk about it. And so everybody's getting on the officials. And there's no easy way to break this to the Lakers. You're not going to win an NBA title through free throws. It's just not going to happen. And so the sooner they can break themselves of this weird affectation of blaming the refs, working the refs for the minute the game starts to the closing minutes after the game. All of this is the refs. And it's not just Luka. It's not just LeBron. It is the whole team. Marcus Smart spends about 45 minutes delivering a PowerPoint, a TED talk to the referees on every dead ball. It's just like, play the game. You guys are, the three of them especially, you're supposed to be the leaders of the team. You're supposed to be forging ahead and powering through a little bit, and not a one of you is. And with Reeves on the bench, who he's usually, he'll talk to the Reeves off to the refs a little bit off to the side, but he's not as bad as the other two, and three really. But it's just gotten to a point where, I don't know what to do or say about it. It's clearly while we're winning and losing games, the officiating, and that doesn't work. It's not a plan. It's not a strategy.
It wasn't free throws. You know what lost the game last night? It was the night of missed bunnies.
Well,
we missed layups. Yeah. We missed little. We would have won by double figures if we hit easy shots that we always hit.
Well, no, DeAndre Ayton missed like 4 or 5 shots at the rim. Well, yeah, that's a good point, Michael.
Yeah, but remember what was it? When Luka would get into his spots and just miss.
Yeah,
from 3 to 5 feet.
He had an off night.
Jake missed the layup.
Yeah,
it was frustrating as hell.
Both he and Ayton had off nights, and LeBron had a fairly efficient night, and that's not enough to overcome it on this team, especially the way we played defense. But I think a lot of that comes from focus. A lot of that comes from not being completely invested in the game, and you're worried about what this guy just called or didn't call. All these things, I think, factor into it. And in general, I think we just get, especially Luka, gets too wrapped up in the officiating. Now, I want to say that knowing full well that I watched, however many years of Kobe Bryant do the exact same thing. Everybody works the refs. I get it. I get it. The thing with Kobe and the thing with LeBron is I feel like to a degree they've earned it. They've gotten to the NBA Finals. They've won titles. LeBron's the all-time leading scorer of the game. He's created statistical categories unto himself in the 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, or 4,000 assists. I forget the exact number of assists, but like ridiculous categories that only he is a part of. And so, okay, I get it. You feel you deserve a little more respect. That's fine. I get that. And to be honest, I think LeBron is the least egregious of those three between Smart, Luka, and he. Gerald, is there anything that can be done? Is this just who Luka Doncic is? I mean, he's always been somebody who people talk about, gets into it with the refs, is always working the refs, talking to the refs, and it's part of his game. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, when it comes to Luka, as I said at the time we got him, just having him, as I think we've lost Jamie when he dropped his phone. I'll just say this when it comes to Luka. I said at the time, because I know a lot of people were just trying to figure out, because they hadn't really seen a whole lot of Luka outside of the finals run and whatnot. I said, if you're an NBA observer, you have to understand he has certain things that he does that he will never get away from. He is who he is to an extent when it comes to arguing with the refs. And you could tell him 100 times not to argue with the refs. You could tell him not to focus on trying to carry the offense himself and do the things that he does. But this is who he is in many. And he's now 27. He's in the prime of his 28. He's in the prime of his career.
I think he's 26 still.
He's 26. I'm sorry, 26. He is still approaching the prime of his life, as far as his career is concerned. And this is who he is. He is not going to stop arguing with the refs. Can he pinpoint better times to do that? Yes, absolutely. Can he focus more on trying to involve his teammates a little bit better at times when he's not? He's not efficient like he was last night inside the arc. Yes, he can. But it's also a matter of fact that JJ has to go ahead and point these things out. And sometimes it's best when a coach also reminds that player exactly what's going on. If you don't have it that night, you have to find other players that might. And LeBron was having a decent game. Now, to the credit of our chat, yes, down the stretch, he did not execute.
He ran out of gas. I thought he ran out of gas.
But he got us. He helped get us back into that position where we were able to go ahead and lead later on in the game. But as a team that, 13-0 going into clutch games, eventually you're going to have one when you're working uphill the entire game, when you're getting killed on the second chance points the entire game. Yeah. You have to understand that eventually your luck is going to run out when you continually come back from behind in order to go ahead to try and win games. It's up to the Lakers to find better ways to be more efficient in the first half to help it make it easier for the second half to be more advantageous for them.
It's funny you bring up the first half, Gerald, because to start the season, the Lakers are one of the best first quarter teams in the league, and that's dropped off lately. Michael, do you think that that's something that's coming with just like scouting? For a while, Luka was going off for like 15, 20 points a game in the first quarter. Now it's not happening so much. He's looking to pass a little more, get guys going a little more. It seems like he's not doing the Luka show thing so early on. Have you noticed anything like that, or you think it's just?
Well, I think maybe he's taking a page from Kobe. Kobe would try, assess what needed to be done, and Kobe always tried to get guys going in the first quarter. For what he would try to get people involved, and then he'd say, "Well, these guys are bums, so I'm just going to take over and score for the next 3 quarters by myself." But he would always do that. But I'm thinking, with Luka, get back to Gerald's point. I think that a bigger problem with him, other than the referee thing, is I think he hunts for fouls too much.
Yes.
He goes in there looking to get fouled.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily going to give you the best shot if you're just
This is what I mean. These all fall into what I consider to be elements of playing the free throw game. Like you're searching for fouls, you're working the refs, you're shooting the shot in an unorthodox manner just to create contact. and then looking around like a wild person and flipping out when your plot didn't get pull.
I honestly think the Lakers should hire Robert Horry as an assistant coach just to tell people what it is.
He's. I don't know. Do you get Spectrum Sportsnet on the
iron? Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
It's great. Their coverage is great. I like watching all those guys. I much prefer it over like Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith and Shaq and that whole circuit.
Robert Horry. He last night after the game he said he hunts for fouls too much.
Yeah, he does. And listen, I'm not trying. There's no world where I don't make the AD trade. It's just no world. No.
Especially now if he hurt his hand now.
Watching
the rest
AD,
of the season.
Every injury that he suffers for Dallas, I'm like, I know how that feels. And I'm happy to have the problem that we have, because this problem feels solvable. That problem ended up feeling every season more and more like it was just a destined, like you just every fall, every bump, you were just like
we're complaining about a player that's on the court averaging 33, 9 and 9.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another player who is
barely playing at all.
Double-digit groin strains in the course of his career, and is now looking and facing a very serious injury, guys. I've had that where I've torn a ligament in my thumb. It blew up like a balloon. I was saying that last night. It's a serious thing, but the thing is, a guy who's nicknamed Street Clothes. I should tell you, who has a $64 million end of deal contract
and looking for an extension.
Looking for an extension. It's again, I am much happier in this position again, and just glad that we can do, continue on with the whatever problems or flaws he has. I am so grateful that he's here.
100%. One thing that was lost on last night's game that's been a real big problem. Our defense was pretty decent last night.
It's been pretty good over the past couple games.
We gave up 105 points. We kept Giannis basically in check. He got 21 points.
We couldn't keep up with Kevin Porter Jr., but yeah.
Yeah, but you have to give up something to stop Giannis. It was a Giannis wall. They were looking to stop Giannis. He's he's somebody that if you don't do that, he'll torch you for 40. But yeah, you got to give something up, and that turned out to be Kevin Porter Jr., who, by the way, we could have picked up at one point.
Yes, that's correct.
I know.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jamie. Sorry.
So my next thing that I wanted to touch on today. First off, I'm going to forget his name. Walter Kennedy. Who's the ref that left in a wheelchair last night? I'm hoping that guy's okay, because he's the best. He's the absolute best in the challenge. When he talks about the challenge, the ruling on the challenge, and his eloquent nature is something that I appreciate, because some refs, you're like, have you ever spoken a word in your life? Like, do you understand how to talk? Like, and you can tell there's like, after the challenge, the ruling, there's marked unsuccessful. What? And he's like delivering Shakespeare sonnets, and it's amazing. So I hope that guy gets back soon. I hope it's not serious, although leaving an arena in a wheelchair means it's probably something, looks like a non-contact injury, so hopefully he's only out 6 to 8 months. That's something that's a little bit okay. Let's talk about, we're coming up on the halfway point of the NBA season. Clearly the teams are who they are at this point, and the Lakers are a 5th place, 4 games back from 8, 4 games back from 2, right in the middle, kind of where we were last season with Luka or without Luka. Reeves is out for at least another 2 weeks. Hachimura might be back as early as this week. I've been watching this team without Rui Hachimura, and at the beginning of the season, I considered the way that Rui was able to space the floor, the way he was able to get his shot, the percentage and the efficiency with which he scored, if not the frequency, I thought was essential to how our offense should work. And it wasn't working out great on defense. With LaRavia in the starting lineup, the team just feels more aggressive physically. It feels faster and more, it bangs harder. He doesn't shy away from contact, but it loses efficiency, which might explain why we're losing but by multiple points in the first and second quarters now, because you don't have that efficient release valve in Rui Hachimura. There has to, we're not going to make a major move. We're not going to be.
We don't have the assets to make a
we
major.
Don't have. We're not going to. Anybody who's like trade for Wiggins, just please stop. Please stop before you drive us mad, because it's just not going to happen. It might happen this summer, but nothing major is going to happen. The best we can hope for is like, I don't know, somebody trying to dump a player and we have to trade like Rui and Gabe or Rui and Smart.
Or injuries from another team, a contender that needs
all of that. All of that could couple into us picking up, a nice side piece, maybe. Yeah. Like that's the best I'm hoping for. Like, oh, he's sort of, another one-way player, another one-dimensional player. We're not getting anybody dynamically two-dimensional with our first-round draft pick and our draft assets. So knowing that truth, accepting that truth, and let's just all for a minute accept that truth. What can we do from within? Is it a rotation thing? Is it a coaching thing? Is it a lack of coaching thing? Michael, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I don't think we know who we are yet. We've lost 2 games when we had all 3 as our big 3. That's it.
But we've only won 4.
We've lost 5 games when we were missing 2. We've lost 6 games when we were missing 1 of them, and we've only lost 2 games when we had all 3. And then you factor in Rui's missed 9 games, Marcus Smart's missed 8 games. We've never played a stretch where we had it. We have 19 starting different lineups. So I don't think we know who we are yet. I think we're getting a clearer idea, but until we can play with our full deck for some period of time.
I would take that so far.
Well, I don't know. We lost by 1 point last night. We had a guy averages 28 on the bench.
I hear you, but you could argue the same. The same could be said for any NBA team, and some.
Well, not really. There's a lot of teams that's gotten hit, but not as hard as us.
You could certainly say that about the Celtics. That the Celtics don't know who they are. They don't have Jason Tatum. You could certainly say that about. You couldn't say that about the Warriors. The Warriors have been mostly healthy all season long, and they're exactly who they are. They're old, and they're transitioning. They can't figure out what to do with Kuminga. I don't know what's going on there. But, I think a lot of teams, you're seeing a pattern. You're seeing an identity of some kind. And I would agree that there's, aspects of that identity that can be tweaked. Missing Reeves, certainly the last couple of weeks has hurt us more than I think anybody anticipated. Shows you the value that he brings on, at least on offense. I don't know about on defense. There's some, some issues there, but this is what I'm saying. Apple is pointing out 23rd on defense is a horrible sign, and that's no matter who's playing. And this is what I'm getting at is that it's either we're not playing the right guys together, which I do think is part of it to a degree. I also don't think that Redick is a great defensive coach. I think he's a little bit one-dimensional in his philosophy, and I think that we're 2 players that are just not great fits on this roster for whatever reason, and we got to figure that out in the summer. Gerald, where are you vibing on this?
Well, I could just tell you now, this team is does not have depth of any kind or any order. After you get to player number 5, it's kind of shaky what you have since, and we've seen since you moved both Smart and LaRavia into the starting lineup. You don't have many options to look from. JJ, whether you say he's a good coach, bad coach, or whatever, he does not have many options when he looks down that bench and sees that. I know that Vando, is a daily back and forth with people on that, whether you're on Vando Hill or you're not on Vando Hill. Because
I'm always on Vando Hill.
Well, I'm not. And but he did have a good game yesterday, but at the wrong time, at the wrong thing. He always makes that bonehead move that has you scratching your head during the regular season. And then in the postseason, we've seen he has gotten played off the floor repeatedly. And that's the problem I have with Jared Vanderbilt. And for what you paid for him, you're continually getting played off the floor when it matters the most. And that is a problem I have, because Vando, however much energy and defense he tries to give you, there's just so many flaws to his game that gets exploited in the right setting if you're the other team. With Bronny, with Dalton, with
Nick Smith
Tim,
Jr.
With Nick Smith Jr., with all these other guys on the bench. I mean, they have their flaws. They have extreme flaws. That there's a reason why Nick Smith Jr. landed in LA. It's because Charlotte let him go. There's a reason why that Dalton Connect dropped in the draft, and we're finding that out because with all these Gabe Vincent has been absolutely terrible with the Lakers over the course of his 3 seasons. And the other day in San Antonio, we're finding out that this league is getting taller with its wings, getting taller with its guards, and these shorter guards, as Trae Young and Ja Morant are fighting out right now, are becoming less and less prominent or less and less a priority in this league. It's just that simple. I mean, we do not have a lot of depth on this team. It's clear. I mean, and Rob Pelinka has issues with talent evaluation. It's just plain and simple. It starts with him and how he built this team. He didn't want to go ahead and build this team in the offseason when he had more assets to do so. And he chose not to. He chose to bypass that and just go cheap value, try to get Ayton, who's been okay with this for a good deal, for a good price. But the problem is he's looking to get more, and he certainly hasn't played like a guy that is going to get considerably more. Marcus Smart, okay, we gave up Goodwin to afford to get him, but hey, he's done okay. But also, he will not be a great value if he tries to look for more money in the offseason. And Jake LaRavia, Jake LaRavia has been a pleasant surprise, but he has been up and down up until this latest batch where he's really started to prove himself. And let's hope he can stay consistent going forward. But that's the problem. Finding consistency has been a problem for this team throughout the season. And I just don't know if they have the players that will find that consistency for them. They're right where I predicted them to be, 5th place in the Western Conference. So this is
I think I had them as too.
Yeah. So again, I'm hoping that they can squeeze out more wins and get a higher seed, because who knows what will happen. One SGA injury and it turns out around the entire face of what the Western Conference playoffs can be.
Yeah, and the Thunder are no longer looking invincible. They've had some issues too, So I mean, I think it's wide open. I really do. But basically, if we have all of our guys, we're going to score a ton of points. I mean, that's why we were winning. Without defense, is because we can outscore most teams at any given night.
Well, let me just interject this real quick, Michael, and I'll get it back to you. I know Adu Thiero, a lot of people have spoken the way Apple has. Well, I sure hope that Adu Thiero does well. I sure hope Adu Thiero comes through.
He's out for like a month.
He started his career. Okay, the Lakers moved up twice in the draft. They picked a guy with knee issues to start off his entire career. And he's had knee issues. Now, I'm hoping the kid comes back, and I hope the kids. But the thing is, they passed over a starting center in Sacramento right now in Maxime Renal, who's playing really, really well. They started Diawara in New York has played considerable amount of time, and Will Richard in Golden State have played considerable amount of time. He bypassed each and every one of those players to pick up this guy, Adu Thiero, whose athleticism, I don't know what it will be like in the future, because he's just had so many problems where it matters the most in his knees. He had no summer league. He had no exhibition. He's played minimal amount of minutes. You haven't seen what he's looked like because JJ has no trust in him. And as soon as we look at him,
tearing it up in the G League that much when he has played in the G League. He's having a hard time.
And there's a kid down there, Kobe Buffkin, who keeps getting 10 days from everyone else. I think he's going to stick at some point in time, although he is a first-round bust from Atlanta. Let's put it that. But he has played extremely well in South Bay. Right now, I would move Chris Mannion off and give him a look. But again, the Lakers, just in talent evaluation, have had a problem. And again, I'm hoping this Adu Thiero kid works out. But it is so concerning when you start your career off with so many issues with your knees already. Zakarsky, yes, Kurt, but I know that's he's been tearing up the G League, but he hasn't gotten. I want to see what it looks like in the NBA.
With Minnesota. Anyway, I think those are valid points. I mean, I'm not I've never gone around calling Rob Blake a masterclass.
But there are some that still do.
No. When you just said, Marcus Smart looking for more money in the offseason, that's not a good look for him. I was like,
how many draft choices have made it this decade for the Lakers?
Tom's already handing Marcus Smart a $16 million extension. He's like,
that's something I want to cover. I've got some things I want to. Yeah,
I can't with the market. If he wants to opt out of his contract, good luck, buddy. Absolute best luck to you. Same with Michael, good luck.
Do you think we have the chance to move? Bring somebody in that could help, because that's what I get all the time. I get inundated with mock trades all the time from people, and it's just like, is there anyone that you think that is realistically come in and help this team?
Actually, no. And that's not going to be Rob's fault that we're not going to be able to do that, but it's going to be Rob's fault because we're in the position that we don't.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it is Rob's fault.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he can't do anything about it now. He could have done something about it, over the years, but he couldn't. But maybe Keon Ellis, possibly.
That's the one guy I have.
Yeah, that's the one guy a lot of people have. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know what's going on with Sacramento. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. His minutes comes and goes. I don't know what's going on with Christie. They need to showcase that guy, or else they're not going to get top dollar for him. And I'm hoping they don't showcase him because
he's been starting as of late. But like you said,
then they told him again.
Yeah, their rotation has been really weird. Malik Monk, some days he's playing, some days he's he gets DNPs. Yeah, I mean they love Russell Westbrook there. But it's just I don't know. Again, this team was not built well, and the person who's building it, Joe, has eternal hope or eternal confidence that he'll be gone by the summer. As far as Rob Pelinka, and I'm hoping that that's the case. But I don't know. I'm not going to guarantee anything at this point in time.
I think they're going to give him a post LeBron shot.
If the Lakers do finish second or third in the West, I don't know how they get rid of him.
If they finish outside the playoffs, if they're in the play-in, maybe he goes. If they finish top 6, I think they let him do the job for another year, and that's what.
And if they win a first round, series, then he'll be back.
I think 100% he's back if he wins any playoff series at all. Not play-in, playoff. If you get into the playoffs and win a series from the play-in, he might keep his job as well. I think because Jeannie's quote unquote in charge, and because she just gave him and Redick those super well deserved, and they earned it 100% extensions.
Yeah, but Mark Walder said, "Jeannie, you're in charge."
I know. Everybody keeps saying that, but we'll see.
Because he brought in all of these other guys, and they're all looking over their shoulders right now.
Yeah, but that was as much a result of the Buss family selling out its majority. That was coming. Those are the nuts and bolts of it. I think he will quietly make changes, and it won't be much of a forward-facing thing. Rob Pelinka is a problem because of the history, and because he overrides the scouts when they tell him, pick this guy, and he's got this Devo-esque gut feeling that he goes with instead. And we've seen how that works out. It did not work out with Jalen Hood-Schifino. It has not worked out with Dalton Connect, and it hasn't worked out with Edu Thero. And that's a fairly consistent track record that dates back to even before then.
I mean, again, I ask you, how many draft choices this decade have worked out for the Lakers? Well,
we've already,
and you can't consider McDaniel one because Minnesota asked the Lakers to draft him before they traded him. So you can't consider McDaniel.
No, that was Minnesota's pick for them to
Christie.
get.
Christie is the only draft choice to make a true continued impression in this league for the Lakers.
Yeah, I would agree with Max Christie. Max Christie's been solid, and I was sad to see him go in that trade because he's exactly the kind of guy we get. And when you mentioned Jordan Goodwin's playing for about a quarter of what we're paying Marcus Smart for about. And don't tell Tom this either because this is what leads him to flip me off on camera and walk off the show when I have the audacity to suggest that Smart and Goodwin bring about the same level of impact. Only Goodwin does it for a quarter of the price.
Well, then that's true, but that's a true statement. But
I know it's a true statement. I know I'm not making it up, but it always makes me laugh when he gets mad at me.
Full respect to Tom on that, Michael and Jamie. I just think that would you trust Rob with that money that you saved? With the money that let's say we didn't sign Marcus Smart, would you have trusted Rob to make a competent decision on who to get instead?
Well, it wouldn't have had to have been instead. It wouldn't have, because you have to remember, we're still operating at a roster spot deficit. We don't have a full roster. We're one spot down. And so every time you look down the bench, it's a handicap right off the bat because we're lacking a player. So that's $6 million roughly that went to Marcus Smart because we waived Goodwin and we're able to use the MLE or whatever mechanism I forget that we used to sign him. Certainly could have gone to another player.
Yeah, but in addition
to Jordan Goodwin.
Yeah, in fairness,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Most teams, including the Lakers, keep that 15th spot open.
I guess we just don't have the money to fill it. Is what it is. We won't have the money to fill it for another couple of weeks. I don't think. Mid-January is when we could finally squeeze a player based on the prorated salary into that spot. And we're probably going to burn on like CP3 or something ridiculous like that. Which is
what I'm interested in seeing is what the hell they're going to do this summer. Because yes, we have 3 draft picks to trade, 3 first rounders, but we don't have any contracts to trade because we were saving money for free agency. I mean, if it just to me, it depends on what LeBron's going to do this summer because we don't have any. We got those draft picks with no contracts to really attach to them, not for anything significant. So I don't know if we'll have a boatload of cap space if LeBron doesn't come back, but you keep looking at the free agents available during the summer, and the guys that might be interesting for the Lakers to look at are all restricted. So
restricted, or they're about to sign a big extension, or we're I don't know that we're going to be in the play. We can't be in play for all of them. And that LeBron question is a legit one because we're halfway through the season, so it's not going to be a farewell tour. I think we can rule that out. He's not going to do it. He's not going to pull a Chris Paul and a couple of weeks, month into the season. This is it for me, guys. And then it was really it for him.
Well, I saw that on Lakerholics.com. Laker Tom has put up some names as far as who he wants to get this offseason. It's very I could just say to the agents out there, you want Laker Tom as your GM because he's very giving.
Generous.
Yes, very generous. Wallace has played well. He's played well in the absence of Jokic and whatnot. There's no question. But you're giving a guy that's now averaging 13 points a game $30 million, and you're just dropping that on him. And Tari Eason, I can understand because there's a bigger sample size there. Walker Kessler, I understand with his skill set, you might have to pay that. Robert Williams, we might be able to get in a trade this year, but his health.
We might be able to get him for the minimum because of his injuries.
Just wait till he gets bought out. He's going to get bought out if he wants to play for a contender, and if he doesn't, then he won't get bought out. And that he's unserious.
I think he's a free agent this summer, just to get.
Yeah, he is.
No, but I'm saying that there's a good chance that Robert Williams, depending on what happens with Portland, what I'm saying is, if he's a competitor, and this is always this, you can always this. We're coming up on the point of the season and every NBA season where there are guys on teams who are either chafing at the bit to compete and win, or there are guys on teams who are like, well, the season's almost over. I got my big payday coming, and I'm going to Cancun or whatever, the Nick Van Exel kind of vibe. And I don't know that I take Robert Williams seriously. I understand he puts up great numbers when he's on the floor. He is so unavailable that I don't know that I believe that he takes care of his body in the right ways. I don't know that he takes the game seriously.
Some big men just
unavailable all the time.
Some big men just have defects in their body.
Right. And it could be, it could be Sam Bowie feet or Greg Oden knees or whatever. Brandon Roy, lower legs in general. those
Bill
things
Walton
are
broke his feet like Bill Walton broke his feet like 3 different times.
100%. Sometimes it's just not in the cards for your career. I don't see why we should give up a draft asset of any kind for that guy or a player of any. I would rather let the money expire. I'd rather have the money to play with this summer than have to deal with like, oh, for 2 months, are we going to figure out if Robert Williams III for his 30 games a season he's going to play is our maybe not really future center? Like, none of it makes sense to me.
Another thing, Jackson Hayes is starting to look like a serviceable backup. He's playing pretty well.
I'm 100% fine with Jackson Hayes being the second or third string center on this team for the foreseeable future for the price point that we are paying him, which is just above the league minimum, I believe. So,
and it could give him a little bit of a raise. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Sure, you want to give him like $8 million a year, whatever. That's fine, right? Like, great. He's earned it. He's been a team guy. He's done what we've asked him to do. Move to the starting lineup when we need him. Come off the bench when we need him. I think I look at him as a second or third string center at best. More like a breaking glass.
No, I'm not talking about him starting. No, but as a backup, I'm fine with him.
Ayton, I like. God, I go back and forth so much on DeAndre Ayton. I just don't know. Yeah, well, Apple, I agree. I couldn't agree more with this. Keep away from Williams. He's worse than AD. 100%. At least with AD, you're getting all NBA on both ends of the floor. You're not getting that with Robert Williams. You're not getting that with Robert Williams III. And listen, I appreciate the guy's effort. Had he been healthy, we could, if any kind of reasonable amount of health, I'd be willing to entertain this on a different plateau. But he's certainly not. And so there we go.
Well, let me just say this. When it comes to those guys, Hayes, and who's done, like I said, a solid job as a backup. I don't think anybody would disagree. But with him and with DeAndre Ayton, they have anchored, like what was talked about earlier, the 23rd ranked defense in the NBA.
No, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
You can't trust Ayton to be a starting center on this team. And he's, I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but he's like the perfect backup for this team.
Right now, when we talk about it, you probably put him at 17 to the 22nd best starting center in the league right now, which is around $8 to $9 million, which is what he is getting paid. Right. But if he's looking to get more than that, I would say have
no, he's day. Not going to. Again, good luck to you. Good. Listen to all I'm going to say to Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton is listen to your agents.
listen to Laker Tom. My gosh.
No, don't listen to Laker Tom. If you listen to Laker Tom, you're going to be walking out the door with a $30 million extension for no reason whatsoever. I can't with that. It drives me mad.
For me personally, I would rather invest in more perimeter defense.
Yes,
because that's one of the biggest problems is these guys are getting attacked continually.
Well, that's the thing. I think it starts there. And somebody mentioned Josh Hart in the chat. I forget who it was. And I've loved Josh Hart. I mean, I think he's probably approaching the pinnacle of what he's going to be able to bring to the court for an NBA team, and that any investment in Josh Hart going forward, there's a lot of risk. He's such a high injury risk player because of the way he plays. His shot comes and goes. He's only getting older. I think he's coming up on 30, 31 next season. He was a Laker for 4 years. He's been a Knick for 5 or 6 years. So he's been in the league for a while. He's, it's been a minute for Josh Hart. Maybe he was only a Laker for 2 or 3 years. I can't remember exactly. But
if only we could have had a shot at Alex Caruso.
Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry.
That's forever for me, the one that got away. And I remember coming on the show and being like, we will rue this. And people are like, oh, he doesn't bring that much to the table. And I was like, oh yeah, only winning. That's it. The only thing he brings is winning. You're right. He doesn't bring that much.
The legend of THT.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm sure he's tearing it up in Turkey right now or wherever he.
The thing that really bothered me about that was it was a cheap move because they could have had both of them.
They could have had both of them. They just cheaped out.
But they didn't want to go over the cap or whatever.
They cheaped out. Small market team and big market pants. All right, let's move on. Well, I guess we're kind of talking about trades right now. You had that trade thing up Tom posted. Come by the website, Lakerholics.com. Okay, full disclosure, the site was a disaster for like 2 months. And it's better now.
I still can't get it on my phone.
You still can't get it on your phone. You might need to update your browser, which means you might need to update your phone. that might be part of it. I think it really did do away with a lot of like legacy stuff for older browsers, older devices, because it had become a security risk. And so we did the right thing, which was update the securities, which just means some things have to get more up to date. That's a lot to put on a website when you're trying to hop on for the first time. We have an older, not all people, but it's an older crowd for the most part. A lot of people from the old LA Times Laker blog. It's funny because everybody's talking about Walker Kessler. I want to get back on the trade thing. Tom will forever talk about Walker Kessler. It's not that I like to disagree with Tom. It's just that he has this propensity to pick some of the most injury-prone players that you can find in the league and say, this is the guy. And for me, I have to look, and I can't ignore availability. And there is a law of diminishing returns on whatever your skill set is. If you're just not on the court, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Jesus Christ. If you're not playing because of an Achilles injury.
I mean, Lonzo Ball, anyone?
You're worthless. Yeah, exactly. You're worthless to me. Like, and I don't say that to be mean or put anybody down or anything like that. It's just that you can't play. What do you want me to say about that? You're not there for your team. You're not there for the fans. You're not there for your teammates. And maybe it's your fault. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But all I can say is if I see that you play fewer games than if you miss more games than you play, like Robert Williams III, or if you're like at the 50-50 mark, like Gabe Vincent, I have to question the investment in your services. And I do. And I'm not afraid to do that. And I don't regret doing that ever. Because that was the problem. That's been the problem with Robert Williams III. It's been the problem with Gabe Vincent. And we've seen how a healthy, productive Gabe Vincent could maybe sort of kind of help this team in like 5 total games over the last 3 years, maybe 10 total games over the last 3 years. And so for me, I will almost always default to a lesser skilled player who's more available. Because if you can't play, it kind of doesn't matter to me. Thoughts?
How good you are.
I mean, that's just me. And I'm not trying to say like, and everybody should think like this. One way you should think like me on every way is death to the corporate, but we'll get into that another time. If you can't play, what good are you? That's one of the great things about Russell Westbrook, to be honest, is like, you might not like seeing him out there because he's going to clank 7 3-pointers in a row from the corner, but by golly, he's there.
And trying.
And trying. Gerald, what are your thoughts on this? Talent over availability or availability over talent?
Well, in the case of Kessler, again, I don't know how much, because it goes 70, 74, 64, 58 in his first 3 years in his league. In the 4th year, he had that unfortunate shoulder injury. Some of that is Utah just tanking and keeping him out. So we have to put that in perspective. I would say, I don't think the book has been written on Walker Kessler. I would still take a chance on him. Am I got a man crush? Do I have a Laker Tom sized man crush on him? No, but I still think he would be a better option in the middle than what we have now. I agree with that.
In theory, I agree with that.
I think that, like I said, I don't think the book has been written on whether he's injury prone or whatnot as of yet. Again, this was an unfortunate injury. It happened, and his season, he had to have surgery on his shoulder, and he's done for the year. But is that through the line through his career? It's not been established for him as of yet. So
he's been in the league 4 years, and every season he misses 30-plus games, I want to say. Maybe 20.
No, it's 74, 64, and then 50. So, but again, how much of that?
The last 2 years.
But how much of that it was them holding him out? Because remember, they did this with him and Markkanen. They did hold them out games because they were tanking. So I don't know how much of that is him, and I don't know how much of that was Utah. So again, I don't think there's an established book on him yet. You can't start calling him a street closer or anything like that. So I would take a chance.
No, I wouldn't say that. That's not what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is that if you're talking about a restricted free agent who you're going to have to get into a bidding war and then wait for Utah to make their decision, which, to be fair, the league has shortened that waiting time to, I think, 3 days. Used to be 5. Is that the guy you want to really like lock your targeting sights on this?
Well, I don't know if that's the guy. That's per se. I think the Lakers have several needs on this team. Yeah, several needs. And when people say they're one player away, I just have to laugh almost, because the fact is they are not just one player away.
We're 3 players away at minimum. I feel like we're a solid defensive guard. I like Marcus Smart. I don't see him as the future is the problem. I like Marcus Smart now, and I wish that there was a younger player that could be learning from him, who I consider to be a serious rotation piece, but I don't think either Nick Smith Jr. or Bronny James is that player, or Dalton Connect. I don't think any 3 of them have a future in the NBA that's worth debating or talking about, to be honest. If that's just how I feel. I mean, the only person out of that who could change my mind is Dalton Connect if he goes somewhere else in like a change of scenery.
Oh, he will get a change of scenery, and he will play better and better. See, like, we gave him many opportunities here after the trade, and it just, for whatever reason, in his head or what have you, it just hasn't worked out. Michael,
he's shooting like what, 23% on threes right now, 27% on threes.
He's in the low 30s overall for the year.
Oh, he's up to the low. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Michael,
he has to shoot 40% to get. He has to be a microwave scorer off the bench,
because he is one of the worst defenders and one of the softest players in the league. Let's not beat around the bush on that. But like Michael says, exactly what I've said. He has to hit 40% from 3 to stay on the court. He has to be a sniper. He has to be that guy that teams have to put a body on and have to go out and defend and respect in order for him to stay on that court. Otherwise, you see over the course of time, teams will pick on him on the other end and will go at him continuously, and it doesn't end up well usually for the Lakers.
I want to answer this question by Apple real quick. What's up, Apple? And actually, welcome Blue Magic and Kurt Affair. Thank you for your awesomeness. You guys always crack me up, especially you, Kurt. Both of you are wonderful people, though. 3 players away, including LeBron. I just have to. I'm assuming LeBron is back next season at this point, not just in the NBA, but as a Laker. Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss have made it very clear that it is their absolute dream for LeBron to retire a Laker, and that if he allows them to retain his services, they will do so. That is what I take as gospel. Nobody has said or done anything to make me think otherwise, either on this show or in, what things that the 3 people I just mentioned, LeBron, Rob, and Jeannie. Now, I don't think he's going to get a max deal. The money is the only question, and the role is the only question. But I think that if he wants to give it another go next season, the Lakers will happily oblige him. And whatever that makes you think or feel, I'm sorry, but don't be surprised when it happens. I don't know if you guys have thoughts.
How much?
I would top out at 25. I think the Lakers would be willing to go as high as 30. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I think that would be a fair amount of money. I don't know. See, the thing about where LeBron's at, who's going to give him a big deal? I mean, a contender. There isn't anybody, because contenders don't have that kind of cap space.
Golden State could move Kuminga and another guy and make room for LeBron.
Cleveland would have to make a lot of changes.
$50-60 million, they couldn't.
No, he's not getting 50-60. He's going to make under 40. It's just a matter of where.
Well, then, yeah. I really,
if he truly wants to win, he's going to take the mid-level. If he truly wants to win, he's going to take a mid-level and then let the Lakers build a team.
That statement is always funny to me. If he truly wants to win, because I don't think people take into account that the athlete himself believes that he is already enough. There's a reason LeBron is suiting up right now, and it's because he believes on this team, he and these guys have what it takes to compete. Whether or not they do every night doesn't change the fact that is what they believe. Does that make sense? Like, they're just wired this way. It's not.
Well, they do have a chance to compete for a playoff round or two. They just don't have enough to get over the top and win it all, and maybe he's thinking, well, we can if we get there. Like I said, they're going to have to at their best, they're a high scoring team that's going to have to score a whole bunch of points to win games.
That's fair.
And, and in the playoffs, defense becomes more important. So we'll see.
I don't know that AR is going to get the max, Apple.
I know he's going to be asking for it. That's the thing, because he'll be now with Trae Young's situation a little bit more clear. Well, actually, somewhat clarified. It's not fully clarified yet, but he will be the marquee free agent this summer. And with 6 or 7 teams that have available cap space, it might be a case where there is some bidding and done. But I'm not sure. Again, if you commit to an AR Luka backcourt for the next 4 to 5 years, is that the best thing for the Lakers defense going forward?
I mean, their defense, I don't know. For their marketing and offense, absolutely.
I'm not worried about their marketing. The Lakers the Lakers have a brand name that known around the world as one of the marketable teams on the planet, that they don't have to worry about it any longer. A LeBron, a Luka, or an AR to get that name over.
Once they got Luka,
marketing took care of itself. No, I'm just saying
marketing continues.
I guess what I should say is from a narrative standpoint, but I also don't care about that.
But even when the Lakers didn't have that marquee star after Kobe left, whatnot, the Lakers were still, despite how bad they were still selling out arenas around the country and still selling jerseys and still selling stuff around the world, because of the name, the Lakers, that they've established over the course of the past few decades. It makes it better with Luka, don't get me wrong, but or LeBron or whatnot. But again, the Lakers franchise, the Lakers name has sold itself now because of all the success they've had over the course of decades.
Both LeBron and Luka make it truly global. All right, I got about 5 minutes left before I got to wrap it up and move on with my day here. So let's talk about one thing. What do we see? Okay, well, actually, let's talk about 2 things. One, let's just real quick throw in a Reeves debate here, because listen, I like Reeves. If somebody's willing to pay him the max, like Atlanta or Washington or Brooklyn, I feel the same way about Reeves that I do about Smart and Eaton. You go get that bag, man.
Sign and trade would be what I would
say.
I
think his representatives would certainly work with us on a sign and trade, because we've given him every opportunity. We have provided him a fantastic stage upon which he has done absolutely everything a player should do to maximize his worth. And there's nothing about that I find off-putting or reprehensible. I think he's done a great job making the most of an opportunity. And I think the Lakers were smart for providing him the stage to make that opportunity, because it's only helped them in the process. And if they lose him for nothing, that's on Rob. And if they can work it out where he gets the max from somewhere like Brooklyn or Washington or Atlanta or somewhere like that has some interesting pieces that could come back and help us a lot, I'm open to that as well, because I don't know, given Reeves's defensive inefficiencies or deficiencies, both, and Luka's, those 2 things match up too well and too poorly to be easily overcome by a coach like JJ Redick, who struggles to command the team. Right. He seems like he's a little bit of a wonky guy. He's got all these ideas and theories and stuff like that. And then he also is kind of angry and petulant all the time. And I think those 2 things work against him a lot as a coach. And he just needs to chill out more than anything else. If I've had any advice for JJ Redick, it would be like, man, just chill out, dude. Like, we get it. You're trying really hard. We believe in you, or whatever. I don't, but other people do.
I'd let Michael finish everything off, because I want to make
sure. Yeah. What do you think, Michael? I don't know. I'm all over the place on Reeves.
Well, I think he's going to stay. He's not going to get traded. He's not going to go somewhere else. I think he's going to stay. He's going to get money. May not be a complete max, but it'll be fairly close. The thing about it is that LeBron is not going to be around much longer, and you need a second scorer in this league. You need somebody else that can put up points. And Reeves has proven that, he can put up points. And he's also proven that he's carried the team when both Luka and LeBron were out.
Fair.
He puts up 40 points when he has to put up 40 points.
Fair.
So I think that you bring in a good wing defender and a good defensive center, and some guys off the bench that can play both ways. And I think you can keep Reeds. We won, like you said earlier, we were winning all of the first quarters earlier in the year, and it wasn't because of our defense. It was because we were just outscoring everybody.
We're outscoring people.
And that's fine with me as long as we got guys that can come in and turn it, and clamp it down later in the game. It's all about rotation. So if you work your rotations right, you can have some good defenders out there for most of the game with, and the other thing is, in Luka sits, you've got Reeds, running the show, or vice versa. So I think he's going to stay. I think he's got value as a scorer for us. And if we get a little bit better defensively in other areas, I think you can start them together.
What's the max Reeves could make? 55, 56?
No, he can't make that much.
50?
I don't think it's in the 50s.
Yeah, he can get 5 years, 241 from the Lakers, 4 years, 180 from another team, unless it's a sign and trade that adds on the fifth year.
5 years, 241 is 48-ish million a year. Okay, so somewhere in the 47 to 49 range is the max. Honestly, I can't see paying Reeves more than 40.
And he's also said he doesn't need the max to stay.
Well, everybody loves to say nice things about money.
Yeah.
Well, with Reeves, I kind of believe it. I kind of believe it.
Kyrie also said he was going to be a Boston Celtic for life.
Yeah, you have so few. I will never.
He is 20. He's going to be 28, Michael, when he goes out of free agency.
I will never begrudge a professional athlete for maxing out the money that they make during.
He has one opportunity, guys. Yeah. One. To get a multi-generational contract. He has one opportunity to get a multi-generational contract, and there you go.
Thank you.
It bugged us out because of the, but yeah, he has one opportunity, Michael, to make a really generational wealth type deal. If I'm his advisor, if I'm advising him, I'm telling him you need to max it out because you will not get that kind of opportunity when you're 32 or 33 the next time you become an available free agent.
Another thing too with that whole deal is that what's LeBron going to do? That's how are they going to handle him?
That's the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
and none of us know. He doesn't know. I think when he says things like "I'm going to think about it after the season," I think he's being completely honest. I don't think he's being like manipulative or deceitful. I think
he leaves that up to Rich Paul to be manipulative.
That's right. He's got an age for that. He's got an age for that. But I do believe that he goes home, talks it over with the wife, whatever kids are left in the nest. I think he's like, "Oh, what do you think?" Clearly he wants to play. He wants to play until the wheels fall off, and it sounds more and more like it's the people in his life that are starting to be like, "Are you ever going to be?" Are you ever just going to be dad? Are you ever just going to be a husband? Are you ever just going to be these things in our lives that are starting to pull him in another direction? And, I appreciate that, but we're talking about somebody who is, for the majority of his life, played basketball. He only really knows one thing. He's only ever done one thing. That's hoop. And everything else has taken a back seat to that for forever.
Yeah, since he's 18 years old,
That's what I'm saying. He's already lapped himself. When he turned 36, he lapped himself, right? In terms of like, oh, you've been playing basketball for at least as long. He's just a creature of hoops. He's a basketball monster, and you don't just turn that off. And because he hasn't suffered a catastrophic injury the way Kobe suffered a couple of catastrophic injuries down the stretch, there's no physical limitation other than age and exhaustion that's prohibiting him from trying. And so that's kind of what scares me, is that because the Lakers are so involved in the narrative and the legacy and wanting to see that last number that goes in the record books as a Laker number, with a Laker jersey. And if people don't think that matters to the Lakers, I think you're crazy, because I think it absolutely matters to the Lakers. I think it matters.
I think it matters to Jeannie. I don't know how much it matters to Walter.
It mattered to Dr. Buss. It matters to the Lakers. They like to see. They will let you retire a Laker. They will if you're a superstar and you impact winning, they will accommodate. Look at how they let Magic even come back and try in various. You know what I mean? Like, they are all in on these homegrown, hometown. In the case of LeBron, he's not homegrown, but he's got the record book notches. I just think it's just in their MO. I mean, feel free to disagree. It seems obvious to me, but maybe other people disagree, and that's fine. I just think that they will bend over backwards, maybe not to the point of insanity. I certainly, like Gerald, don't think he's getting another max contract from any team. It's just what number feels comfortable to both parties, that LeBron's willing to live in a a carbonite chamber, freezing his body like Han Solo every night to whatever he goes through to be ready to play, which I'm sure is a lot. What's the price point on that, and what's the impact, and how do we even play defense with LeBron?
He needs 2 days off, though. He needs 2 days off.
2 days off between games, if not 3. And you see that and then how do you develop? And that's the Embiid sort of issue now, right? It's like, how do you develop a team identity? How do you develop a rhythm as a player? How do you incorporate all of this into what I'm trying to do?
They finally found it with Embiid, because he's been playing really well as of late. I know that's gone under the radar, but Embiid has really started to play well these past 2 weeks.
Whatever, he needed a year off to get surgeries, truly rehab. I think he looks a little thinner to me. He looks like he's lost about 5 pounds, 10 pounds, which I think a lot of players could stand to do. The more weight you put on those joints. I mean, look at Zion. He's the lightest he's ever played, and he's finally playing again, and he's playing as well. Not that team's winning, and I expect him to go down sooner than later, because I think I just do. That's what happens. It's like,
he's been playing well. You're right on that.
But when he's healthy, he plays well, and when he's light, he plays better, and that's a lot of guys. I thought that when AD bulked up after winning the title, that was when his 3-point shot went away. And it was just, he lost some mobility and some fluidity to his game that he's never gotten back. And
he never had a 3-pointer.
He shot about 35%.
He's never. No.
All right, 33%.
No, he's a career 30% shooter. No,
come on, Gerald.
Laker Tom and I. No, don't get started, because Laker Tom. I told you last year on this show, I said to Laker Tom, he will finish under 30%. This was when, again, another coach, first Ham, then Redick, fell in love. He can start shooting 3-pointers. I said, that's the dumbest thing you can do, because he is
Frank Vogel used AD perfectly. Frank Vogel.
Well, hold on. He started out hot, and Laker Tom was rubbing my face, but when he got traded, what was his average? 29%. 29% from 3. He is a.
No, I will forever say Frank Vogel was the perfect coach for Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and it's unfortunate that
he had one good stretch in the bubble from 3.
Sure.
That's it.
I'm just talking about defense. The defense was the best it's ever been under Frank Vogel, second best under Darvin Ham, and it's just cratered under JJ Redick, because he's not.
I don't feel too bad. Frank Vogel has gotten, both Phoenix and LA gotten, maybe. I know you didn't like his offense, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but he got the short end of the stick from both LA and Phoenix. But you know what? He's in Dallas now. He's the assistant head coach now, and he's still getting paid from Phoenix, so that ain't bad.
No, he's doing all right. All right. Final thoughts. I think we play tomorrow.
Monday at Sacramento.
Okay. We play Sacramento, so we ought to win. If it's under a 500 team, I think I like our chances. If it's an over a 500 team, we struggle. If it's a playoff contender, we generally lose. So that's been the MO for the season for the most part this year.
Career shooting, Anthony Davis is 29.5%.
He's got a chance to break 30, Gerald.
The thing about Anthony Davis is he could never accept the fact that he is a center. He is not a power forward.
Agreed. Very well said.
that is his best position. That's when he does the most damage. He's a monster in the paint, scoring, and he is just he's an all around better center.
Yeah,
his high as a shooter with the Lakers, he was 33% in the Lakers championship year. Then it went 26, 19, 26, 27, 28. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry to both you and Laker Tom, but he has never been a good shooter from three.
I never said he was a good shooter. I said he could shoot. There's a difference. Listen, Laker Tom would have loved Kurt Affair's joke post. AD needs to shoot. AD
well, that's what Ham said. That's what Ham said.
I know.
In that last year.
I know.
No.
All right, last thing. I think I want to. This is the point I want to make about Reeves, and then we can close it out. I think we'll win against Sacramento. I don't think Sacramento's worth talking about. I'm glad Russell Westbrook's there. I hope we get Keon Ellis for Dalton Connect in a first rounder. Only player I would use on the first rounder, but it would have to be top 10 protected. Even that's a bit of an overpay, but I think we're going to have to overpay to get somebody at this point because we got nothing. How Reeves comes back from this calf injury and how healthy he stays the rest of this season with that calf injury, I think will actually impact his worth a lot more than people expect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And so if he struggles with that calf injury for the rest of the season and if he misses enough games to miss like all NBA benchmarks, things of that nature, which he was on pace for like definitely being second team all NBA. I don't know about first.
I would at best to look at third, but
at best I was looking. I think second, depending.
Even third is one of the 15 best.
Well, Austin Reeves again. It's not an image where he's playing at. It's the image of who he is because he's playing on the Lakers. He's averaging 25. He's doing all those. But the fact is, I look at more of what the All-Star voting. Now, the All-Star voting I usually don't care about. When he pops up in the top 10 of All-Star voting, that means he's an attractive individual to people out there. People are voting for him consciously as an All-Star because he's playing well, but also because of who he is. They like whatever it is that's appealing to him. A lot of people are, willing to vote for him and make him an all-star. If that's the case, other teams see this as someone maybe they want to, like you talked about marketing earlier for other teams. While it's not as necessary for the Lakers, maybe it is to bring in someone that could sell tickets and could sell merchandise on other teams on a less successful organization. Just something just to throw out there.
I think that's a fair observation. I think if somebody throws the max at Reeves, I'm not sure we match it. I know. Well, their max is going to be lower than our max. I think that he would settle for the lowest max another team could offer. I don't know if he's worth that, but I bet we pay him because we don't have a lot of other options. So that's my take on that. And let's be honest, I think you're right, Gerald, when you said that he is going to he's going to be the marquee free agent this summer.
By default,
not by just because there's not going to be a lot of other guys.
Unless Trae gets out of his last year, but again, the way he's played,
I don't know.
We have that fifth year, so we could actually give him a lower.
That's what I'm saying, Michael. I think
he has to opt in. Austin has to opt into that last year. He has the choice at the end of the season to
opt in. And like you said, though, Gerald, his age. So that a little lower salary for an extra year might be appealing to him.
That's a good point, Michael. I mean, and I will say this, I don't. Again, I've said it a million times. I will never disparage a professional athlete for going out and trying to maximize their worth. I will also never disparage a front office for making the right tough choices. And if you don't truly believe in your heart of hearts that this is a guy that's going to take you all the way to the end of the line, across the finish line, and bring another title back to your team, then you have to make a choice there and do what's right. And we'll see if the people that Mark has them, the new additions, along with our old school cabal of, Laker mystics that have been running things for a while, is enough to put this all together and build a winner over the summer. I do think there's the only thing that could potentially up in the summer is Giannis asking out. I know he just said he would never do that. I don't believe anybody. Anytime you get somebody, an NBA player, coach in front of the camera, and they make some grandiose statement, I'm like, why did you say that? It's just something you're going to have to walk back. Like I thought JJ Redick did himself one of the great favors this summer when they're like, what's your starting rotation going to be? And he said, I don't want to have a starting rotation. I used 19 different lineup combos last season. He's already matched that this season. So he was very prescient. He was very intelligent for not boxing himself in the summer when it doesn't matter what anybody says. And he's letting the guys on the court determine to a degree, who plays and who's not. Trae will resign with Washington. He'll have a phantom injury to keep him out for most of the season, so the Wizards keep their pick. I think that's probably true, Kurt. Divex Ray, I see you're a ray of sunshine. Keep shining, I guess. I don't know. But AR's, I don't know if AR's overrated, but whatever. Let's end it here, though. I think we've maxed out our topics for the day. I think we all agree that we should win on Monday. Yes.
Yes.
Again, just seeing the debacle in Sacramento is just interesting to watch.
The way they were on a Nova hot trajectory to consistently competing. And they completely panicked on Mike Brown and pulled the plug, and then mishandled it with De'Aaron Fox, and now are just a joke.
They went from Halliburton and Fox to Westbrook and Zach LaVine.
They traded for the Chicago Bulls.
They traded for the Chicago Bulls,
who wasn't doing anything.
And they have Dennis Schroeder. Don't forget that madman, Dennis Schroeder.
I like Dennis Schroeder off the bench.
I do. I like Dennis Schroeder all right too, but there's a lot of diminishing returns with his game, in my opinion.
Well, not. I mean, he's no De'Aaron Fox.
No, he's no De'Aaron Fox, and that's the thing. Like you downgraded. And listen, Doug Christie was a great role player. I don't think he's a great NBA coach yet. I don't know what I don't. I don't
know what he's doing. For a team that should be tanking, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's not playing the right guys ever. He's playing all these. It's just he's terrible. And so, why they pulled the plug on Mike Brown, I can't fathom. I truly can't fathom, because nobody on the team was complaining about him. All he was doing was trying to hold guys to a standard, which you would imagine you would want your coach to do. And they were always they were competitive, even that season when they had some injuries and weren't playing exactly to as well as maybe some would expect. That's just sort of the NBA. Your coach isn't going to be a 60-game winner every minute of every, they might win 60 games over the course of the season, but you have to get through the season to see that. And no job is more unfairly judged than that of the NBA coach. Having said that, there are a lot of NBA coaches out there right now who I don't think deserve the job. And Doug Christie is one of them. We won't get into any others. I'm just going to leave it right there. Is there anything else anybody would like to close out with before we head off into the sunshine?
Well, they hear from me all week long. So if Michael's got anything, please speak now.
I think we've covered everything. Like I said, right. my biggest thing with this team is I would just like to see what the hell we look like if we actually had guys available, everybody. Wouldn't that be something?
This is the hot take of the day. Apple 3 at 20. Kings will go in for Ja or Trae.
Or no, LaMelo.
LaMelo, I'm sorry, Ja or LaMelo. Yeah, I think that's probably true. And then both of them will get ankle injuries and be out for the majority of their contract. Maybe they'll get both. Maybe they can trade LaVine, and I would trade LaVine. If I were Memphis, I would do whatever they could to get away from Ja Morant. And if I were Charlotte, I would probably do the same with LaMelo, because I just don't think either one of them takes the game. LaMelo's got a body problem. His body can't. He's a ball, so his body's breaking down.
It's a ball problem.
It's a ball problem. Yeah, it's the ball genes. They're great. They play great on in lead shoes on their home court in front of their house, but in the NBA they're only okay.
They just get hurt over and over.
Get hurt. Yeah, they break down, and that's unfortunate, but it's the reality. And Ja, I just don't think he's a serious person. I don't take him seriously. I think I feel the same way about Ja that I often feel about Dylan Brooks, where I'm like, you let your narrative define your play way too much. You're kind of a joke. yeah, you're good. I'm not saying you don't have talent, but like at the end of the day, I look at what you do. I look at the way your attitude impacts the game so negatively, and it's a net loss. You're not gonna be able to overcome that because you let yourself get in your own way too often, and that's how I feel about guys like that. I wish Dylan Brooks was a little more even keeled, because if he could not have a LeBron James fetish or I'm gonna just mad dog people from across the court fetish, I think he would be at least twice the player he is now. And it's unfortunate that he can't figure that out, because, he'd be making more money and probably be winning more. Anyway, on that wonderfully positive note, let's hope for a Laker. Nico, the king of bad shape. All right. I don't know. We'll see. Reeves as a six-man, Gerald, I just don't think it's going to happen. They're not going to.
No, and I don't think it will be. I think he is best suited as a six-man on the title team, but no, he's looking to get paid. I know that Stephon says there's a good chance of that happening when he comes back, and they'll do the thing where the kind of in thing now is like with Wembanyama, and you're seeing what Williamson did too, that they bring him off the bench for a little bit of time, just
5 games top.
Yeah, and while they limit his minutes and whatnot, but
5 games.
He's going to get paid. He wants to get paid. And he would put a lot of internal pressure on the Lakers if they did not bring him back to the starting lineup at some point in time.
They would be putting pressure on themselves if they did that. That's what that would come in. Anyway, on that note, I'm Gerald Glassman. I'm Jamie.
No, you're not.
No, it even says below that I'm not that I'm not you. Now it's right.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're. Well, we've been remarking about how your glow. You've been looking like you're going for a higher calling. Like
I am. I feel the power of reality compels me.
Okay, there you go. All right. Well, if you're a you can't be called a vampire because you'd be dead right now with all that.
No, I'm in the sun. Normally I'm in my cave behind me, and everybody gives me a hard time for being in a cave. Now I'm in the sun. Everybody's getting, I'll get my lighting right someday, everybody. And on that day.
Yeah, because it sucks so bad for you in California sunshine and Michael his frigid 70-degree weather. Oh
no, I bet it's almost up to 80 by Michael. I'll bet it's.
It's probably about. Let's see. Gosh, it's only 76 now.
Oh, it's so cold there. Whatever shall you do, Michael? Terrible.
Hey, I wear a sweatshirt to bed. It gets down in the 60s at night, not in the winter.
Oh, how do you?
We had a blizzard last week.
It's snowing in Vegas this week, and
we had a blizzard in Hawaii last week.
We do sometimes, though. You do on some of the mountaintops, correct?
Yeah, Mauna Kea gets snow all the time.
Yeah, that's actually a true thing.
Yeah, it's like 13,600 feet tall.
But by the time it gets to you, it's sure.
Yeah. By the time it gets to you, it's 75.
Yep.
Kurt says someone get Michael a jacket. Yes.
Yeah. We'll send you some Lakerholics swag or some Laker fast break swag. All right, you guys. Let's have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay smart, and let's see what we can do on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday on the post game, everyone. Have a great
Aloha.
weekend. Aloha.